I lifted up my eyes, saw glory written in the atmosphere. Then you ripped it out the sky with your story that isn't happy here. You, the composers of creation, writing simple songs just to get married in a church, till they're imposed across the nations, guiding mental constructs until they're buried with a hearse. See how expensive is patience? Time existentially wasted in these cycles we're caged in till again on the day when that hearse and the church are both buried in the earth. Till then you'll miss out on the best while you're preparing for the worst with the promise of tomorrow always glaring with its curse. Locked in an eye cage, always staring at your work with a million likes but no one who is sharing in your hurt. So where are these miracles? We demand to see one. Can't control the mind but claim this man's a free one. So we say we must have came here for a damn good reason. Yet in all of our prayers we reprimand his kingdom. So stop talking about God unless you plan to be one. Be quiet. You're missing how these planets beseech us to keep quiet and listen to understand what they teach us. We're built on every part of life, but not one part that needs us. So I bow down to the natural hand of God that breathes us. Hey guys, it's Benjamin Zamish, the author of Creating Freedom and the founder of Move, Learn, Create. And thank you for joining me for Chapter 7 of the Full Moon Sessions. This was Sacred Planet. I've thought a lot about this piece and what it means and what direction I should approach it from, because obviously it's saying so many things. Well, all of these pieces say so many things, but this one in particular, I just couldn't really, for the longest time, I couldn't hone in, I couldn't focus in on what was really the message here for me. What was it that was the most profound, the most poignant? What was the key piece that was trying to come through that kind of gave birth to this whole, piece of art? And obviously it's called Sacred Planet, and it ends, with kind of an homage to like I say, the natural hand of God. And we're built on every part of life, but not one part that needs us. So I had this thought where there's this quote from Terence McKenna that really struck me and has resonated with me for a long time, where he says, events with meaning are imbued with uniqueness. Events with meaning are imbued with uniqueness. So what he's saying is the things in our lives that have meaning for us, in our experience, the things that have meaning are the events that are unique. Now, I have recently come into an experience that I just keep saying, I'm having an experience that I can't put into words. And it's so phenomenal. It's so indescribable, and it is driving me crazy trying to come up with a way to explain it to myself. How is this possible? How is it possible that this can happen? How is it possible that I can be having an experience of this magnitude? I'm not a monk, I'm not in an ashram. I'm not a yogi in the mountains somewhere. I work a job. I get upset. I have hard days. I struggle with things. I'm very much I'm in a volcano. I'm not sitting, in a cave with my eyes closed, just blissed out 24/7. But if I do sit and close my eyes, it's an instantaneous immersion into unspeakable ecstasy. And how is this possible? And it's interesting, the mind never stops. You're trying to find, you're searching for something and you think you got to find it with your mind. You're constantly trying to explain the mechanics of this creation to yourself, and then you happen upon an experience that's so far beyond the limits of the mind you can't even talk about it. You literally cannot even talk about it. And what does the mind do? Right away it gets to work on trying to explain to itself how this is possible. How is this possible? How can this happen? I mean, you have to understand, I'm at work, okay, for 10, 11, 12 hours digging ditches and drilling holes and doing these things. And I'm up to my waist in a pit of mud, and I pick up an acorn off the ground, and I have to turn my back to the rest of the crew because I have tears of ecstasy streaming down my face, because in my experience, the entire universe is in the palm of my hand. You know, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed. These things have become real, and it's so rooted in the earth, in this sacred planet, which for me is the core of the piece, and what I really hopefully can communicate in some way that will impress upon you a new appreciation and really a new impetus to strive to come to the place where for you each moment of your life can be filled with meaning, because you will see that it is indeed imbued with uniqueness. And that, I think, is the real takeaway here. The only reason that every moment of your life is not filled with meaning is because our brain has hypnotized us into thinking that it is not unique. We only think that, you know, the wedding day is unique, that the birth of the child is unique, that these moments that for us are brand new. It's a revelation. It's a new experience. It's an explosion of novelty. You know, in an otherwise mundane world, we assign so much meaning to these events and hold them as so sacred because we have become blind to the obvious reality that every single moment here on this planet is equally as unique as any other moment that you can possibly focus in on. I mean, we look around and we don't even see what's there anymore. We look at a tree, we have no idea what it is, and all we do is hear the word tree. We see T-R-E-E. We don't see the thing itself. We don't see anything as it is. And if we did, I mean, it's like that passage in the Bible. I think it was when maybe Moses came upon the burning bush and he heard, remove your sandals, for this is holy ground. Remove your shoes, for this is holy ground. I mean, that is how the experience of this earth has become for me. You know, every time I step outside, I feel like I should remove my shoes because this is holy ground. It is so sacred. It is so phenomenal. It's so unimaginably miraculous every single moment of this life, so inexplicably phenomenal, every aspect of this creation. But we're lost in this narrative, this internal dialogue that's going on that has turned everything into symbols and won't allow us to see anything as the thing in itself. And so I just want to urge you, you know, and just push you on that these you know, moments of meaning, they can become every moment. It can become an experience, a never-ending experience of unending novelty, of indescribable uniqueness, of more meaning than you can possibly hold within your being. Your life can become just an offering of what is running over. You know, my cup runneth over. And truly, that's what's in store for each of us, not by attaining to some higher state of being, but just returning to what it is that we already are, to just do away with all those unnecessary, you know, superfluous layers of the mind that have built up all of these symbols within which we live. You know, our own story, our own psychological dramas that we cling to so furiously because really we're terrified of that moment where definitely all of that will be stripped away. And if we can just have the courage to do away with that right now, and strive to come to the place where we can see things as they are, totally unique, totally profound, unspeakably sacred, every single thing, then your life can be filled with so much meaning, not, you know, once in a while, but every single moment. And when that happens for you, I promise it will be directly connected to this phenomenal, this sacred planet, this natural hand of God, which breathes us. So And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving me this outlet and allowing me to have this platform to share my experience. If you haven't taken advantage yet of the tools that I have put together, the resources that I've made available, please do. The links are in the description for this video. They're free, they're profound, they will transform your life if you do the work. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter your situation. They are fundamental to the human experience, and hopefully they will help you in the way that they helped me transform into something that, you know, that I can't explain it. I can just point to it and keep pointing, and hopefully you'll you'll turn and look and come into your own experience. And I look forward to hearing your best effort to describe this thing that can't be described. So until then, I will be here. I will see you next time. Thank you so much.